Live from New York, it's Saturday night.
Well, you're still not getting it. Now listen carefully. Live from New York, it's Saturday night.
Surprised to see a former U.S. presidential candidate on a comedy show? Well, don't be. This is no ordinary comedy show.
It's Saturday Night Live.
This is a revolutionary hip pop culture phenomenon, likely one of the most successful shows in television history, and probably the first network series produced by and for the TV generation.
Go away, just go away.
Hi, Norm.
Lorne, how'd you get in here?
I have a master key.
Oh.
Meet the mastermind behind Saturday Night Live, Lorne Michaels, who 22 years ago, at the tender age of 30, was the boy wonder who created this
I'll
show.
understand how badly.
I completely believe that if I could get this show on the air, that it would be successful.
What is that bewitching scent you're wearing?
Vicks Vapor Rub.
Roll over, Liberty.
What was the nature of the surgery that you underwent?
Mr. Susskind, I had sections of my buttocks implanted in my breast.
Yes, it was successful. It was also brave, original, inventive, influential. And it launched careers. Boy, did it launch careers. Producing star after star. People like John Belushi, Bill Murray, Jane Curtin, Chevy Chase, Gilda Radner,
Babs's uvula who?
Billy Crystal, and Eddie Murphy. It showcased the talents of some of the leading comics of the last 2 decades. Among them, a remarkable number of Canadians. Dan Aykroyd.
You stun it, you cut it, you charbroil it.
Martin Short.
It's making me mental.
Now's the time on Sprockets, then we dance.
Mike Myers. Phil Hartman.
Pat, George is not my son. He's my husband.
Norm Macdonald. And Mark McKinney.
There does seem to be a disproportionate number of Canadians in comedy. Could it be that you've opened the door and made it easier?
Am I the oldest? Yes. And so was I first, and did I get here first? And do immigrants always help one another at the beginning? Yeah, I think they do.
The man who got there first, the unofficial godfather of live sketch comedy, remains, despite the success of his show, a shadowy figure.
So you don't do interviews that often?
No, almost never.
In fact, we had a hard time spending any time with him. He has protection in the form of a network PR person who is there at every turn, watching, listening, orchestrating our limited access to his busy boss.
This is where we leave.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The day we were there, Saturday Night Live alumnus and guest host Mike Myers was rehearsing his opening monologue. It was a closed set. Our cameras were only allowed to film Myers from the balcony at a distance. Lorne Michaels runs a tight ship.
You don't like to talk about yourself, do you?
Not much, no.
You're very private, very personal?
I don't know how private I am, but I think, you know, it's, yeah. I'm more comfortable with the light being on others, yeah.
Chevy, I just can't let you do this fall. It's too dangerous.
Dangerous, Lorne. I did it every week.
Chevy, you're 58 years old.
Despite his reluctance to let the light shine on him, he is not above giving himself some airtime on his own show. While these cameos are rare,
Welcome to the All-Canadian Bar, sir.
for a couple of years in the 60s, he was a fixture on Canadian television.
I'd like a scotch and soda.
One
The
scotch and
year
soda.
is 1969.
There you go, sir.
Watch Lorne Michaels and former comedy partner Hart Pomerantz on an early episode of W5.
No, I'm not.
That's not good, sir. Not good at all. Can I quote the law to you?
I think that I'd always been funny in the way of making my friends laugh. I was always happy when I was with people who had a sense of humor. That was a big part of the tradition I grew up in.
He was born Lorne David Lipowitz and grew up in a comfortable Toronto neighborhood.
Something to do with show business was probably always there for me.
In the 60s, he dabbled in musical reviews at university, did some shows for the CBC, changed his name to Michaels, worked in London.
Until I went to England, I think I was probably on a course to do something sensible. I think I would have...
I
would have gone to law school, probably.
But he loved TV, and after a stint in L.A., ended up in New York.
I didn't have a clear thing of I want to be a director, or I want to be a writer, or I want to be a producer. I sort of knew that I wanted to be, in some way, part of it.
But to be part of it was risky business. Even the legendary Frank Schuster of Wayne & Schuster, the father of Michael's first wife, Rosie, told him to be careful.
His sense of being in show business was that it was precarious. I don't think anybody encourages anybody to go into show business because it generally doesn't work out well, and it's a hard life. So if you're going to do it, you're going to do it because you're passionate about it.
But if you don't go on,
Was he passionate? Yes. Was he creative? Sure was. Here, a young Lorne Michaels jokingly appeals to George Harrison and the Beatles to come on the show.
Now, here it is, as you can see, verifiably, it is a check made out to you, the Beatles, for $3,000. All you have to do is sing 3 Beatle tunes. She Loves You, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah. That's $1,000 right there.
What made you think you could succeed in this business that eats its young?
I don't think I ever thought I could. It just sort of, I stayed at it long enough to the point where I could.
And in the early years, Michaels broke new ground. Saturday Night Live was cutting-edge television, raw, raunchy, even reckless.
Hold on to their big American breasts. I'm gonna get me a shotgun and kill all the whiteys I see.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Well, the power's working okay. I'm going to turn around and see if I can get a look at her.
Our top story tonight.
Our top story tonight.
But after 5 years of critical acclaim, things began to change. Inevitably, the biggest stars left for Hollywood, and a burnt-out Lorne Michaels left too.
When I left it, I was spent. I'd never fired anyone, and at the end of 5 years, I still hadn't fired anyone, and it was time for an upheaval.
But then, much to the surprise of many, he came back to rescue his floundering brainchild and was raked over the coals for his efforts.
The critics went after you,
Lots of times, yeah.
And they went after you personally.
Yeah, they have.
Blaming you for the failure of the show.
Yeah.
That must have hurt.
Yeah. But you know, Saturday Night Dead is a headline I've read since 1976. And is it pleasant if somebody, you know, dumps a bucket of shit on your head? Yeah, it is. It is unpleasant. But I think that just comes with the territory.
And with the territory, over the past 12 years have come repeated threats from the network to kill Saturday Night Live, and a challenge: keep the show current.
Is it just as relevant today as it was 20 years ago?
If you believe what networks tell you, which is demographics, and are the people watching it, yeah.
Are you too old to be relevant any longer as producer?
Probably on some level, but I don't really think so, no. I'm not sure that I wasn't prematurely old at 30. Might as well be a gentleman.
For a man who's busy enough already, Lorne Michaels just can't sit still. His production company keeps churning out project after project, like the TV shows The Kids in the Hall. And at least 10 music and comedy specials with big names like Paul Simon and Steve Martin. A string of movies, including The Coneheads, Mike Myers' box office mega hit Wayne's World,
This could be it.
and Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy.
Well, it could be.
Today, at 52, Michaels is the father of 2 young sons and married for the 3rd time. This Canadian who has made it so big in the U.S. entertainment industry, this quiet-spoken man remains an enigma, an elusive, media-shy star maker who prefers to let his work speak for him.
If you two kids need me, I'll be down the hall.
Okay. Yeah, well, we're right here.
So is this as good as it gets?
Considering everything that's happened to me, I mean, I have an incredibly good life, a very privileged life. I got way more than my share.
Rosanna Dana.
For me, people who are funny and bright and to be around that is thrilling.
Good night and have a pleasant